welcome back to the Attack the Rack YouTube channel. This is the Attack the Rack daily lineup show. Today is Tuesday, September 3 of the year 2024. We got myself, Big Mo, and Trent back. First, let's start with an announcement. Starting next week, the daily lineup show is going to move from Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So starting next week, we will be here for you on Monday and then still Tuesday and Wednesday. We're going to move it, shift it up a day starting next week. So once again, starting next week, daily lineup show, 7 p.m. Ish on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I got to give a huge thank you to our sponsor, Bubba's Bounce House Rentals, LLC.
Guys, every family party or social event needs something special. Bubba's Bounce House Rentals, LLC can do that for you. They provide inflatable bounce houses and water slides on top of great service in the West Michigan Lakeshore area. Call Bounce Master Sam at 616-485-0257 today and mention Attack the Rack to get $25 off your next rental. Also, find Bubba's Bounce House Rentals, LLC on Facebook. Bubba's Bounce House Rentals. All we rent is fun.
All right, guys, let's jump right in here. What a weekend it was in college football. Wasn't it great to have actual real, and yes, the Saturday prior, there was a few games, but no, nothing great really. Wasn't it great to have college football back?
Yes, it was great to watch some college football.
I guess, Trent, we might as well just start with you. You're the Ohio State guy of the program. What were your thoughts on the Ohio State Buckeyes against Akron?
I thought they looked pretty good. It was a slow start, couple penalties, and just kind of stopped the drive pretty quick right away. But I thought Will Howard settled in pretty good. The freshman wide receiver is going to be a stud. Smith, he's going to be really good. And then Judkins, you could tell that their game plan was to not let Judkins go crazy, and they just kind of packed it in. But I think he'll get loose a few times this year. And that combo they have with Henderson and Judkins is going to be pretty tough. Kind of similar to the Michigan backs over the past couple of years with Corum and Edwards. And now what's the other guy's name that played really well this weekend for them? Mullins. Yeah, I think it's similar to that. I think the offensive line might be the question mark, which could be an issue getting later into the season. But hopefully they just keep getting stronger up there and can at least give Howard some protection for a little bit so he can get it off. But yeah, I was satisfied.
Are you feeling much? I'm guessing you are feeling better about your quarterback situation this year than last.
Yeah, I need some sort of mobility from a quarterback. I feel like college football is kind of going towards that. More guys that can just, if the play breaks down, they can do something and create something. And I feel like, I don't think Howard's the most athletic guy in the world, but at least he can move. So I think that's a positive for them versus McCord last year, who just kind of had that Peyton Manning in him a little bit where he would just fall because he didn't want to get hit. So it's like, oh, there's pressure. And then he just goes to the ground, so at least there's some sort of evasiveness trying to get out of the way and at least move in the pocket somewhat.
Speaking of quarterback, well, Big Mo, you got anything on the Buckeyes? I was going to shift over to you for the Wolverines, unless you got anything you want to add to.
No, nothing from the Buckeyes. I didn't watch them. No, nothing. They are what they are right now. I think Trent hit the O-line. That's going to be, I think that'll be kind of both teams' keys as to how much stronger both those O-lines get to allow them to compete in the Big Ten.
All right, well, so Trent wrapped up there talking quarterback play. Let's start with quarterback play for the Wolverines. Not great, Big Mo. What are you thinking? Quarterback play with Michigan Wolverines.
Well, I think you got to take that. Even though he's I don't know, is he a junior?
Who?
Warren.
Oh, he's a senior.
Senior, but he hasn't played at all.
Right. Right.
So I think you got to take that into consideration. Um, I was watching something. I don't know if it was or saw something. He had leukemia in high school.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
Craziness.
crazy. Yeah.
So I don't know if he's the answer, but I don't know if you can judge it after one game. So he looked good that last drive when they ran the ball a little bit, and then he hit Loveland for
Yeah.
that touchdown. I think they got to be willing to let that guy make some plays.
Do you think, I mean, coming to town this Saturday is number 5 ranked Texas. Do you think we'll just see pretty much just Warren or are
No,
you?
I think it'll be a combo like I think they'll be exactly how they were this past weekend.
I just don't know if I like that when you're playing like a real game and a real team. Not that it wasn't a real game on Saturday, but you're playing Fresno State when you can, you're probably going to win either way. But now you're playing a team like Texas. You feel like you need to really have whoever your quarterback's going to be and just roll with them.
Yeah, but Michigan's done that. I think, so Coach Moore's done that in the past with even JJ and Cade, right?
Yep.
So I think you're going to see a little bit of the same stuff. Maybe even Orgy, maybe getting a little bit longer, maybe a full possession to be able to see if he can throw the ball a little bit.
He only had the 2 pass attempts.
Yeah,
1 for 2.
Yeah,
and they were both short, right? I mean, they're both pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, he threw the one at that guy's knees or feet,
yeah.
and then he hit Edwards on the touchdown. So I think that's still going to be a debate. I think you're going to get people that want Warren, people that want Orgy, and then I think you're going to get some people that want to see the freshman. So
yeah.
but I think, yeah, exactly. So I think you got to give each and eat at least a try. Like, I mean, I think you got to give Warren another game. You got to open the playbook up a little bit.
Yeah.
I'd like to see him go a little more 2-back with Edwards and Mullins in the backfield.
Okay, sure.
I think that would allow Edwards some flexibility because now you can't key on him whether he's kind of releasing into the flats or something like that, swinging out. So I'm not too worried about Michigan. I mean, they're gonna, if they struggle offensively, their defense is going to keep them close. So
Yeah, no, the defense looked great. Defense is solid. Potentially, 3 first round draft picks on that defense. So defense should be good. And the nice thing too is like prior to this year, you lose this game to Texas, and it's like, well, okay, season's over. Now with that playoff being expanded to 12, you can lose a game, probably 2 games throughout the season, maybe even 3, depending on who you are, and still make the playoff. So
Unless you're Florida State.
I was just gonna say that. What are you guys thinking about Florida State starting off 0-2 with a terrible loss to Boston College now? So they lost to Georgia Tech and Boston College.
Yeah, they stink. Ukulele stinks.
Yeah, what a disappointment. Those fans are.
He's terrible.
I think they were really had their hopes high on him.
I think their coach stinks too. I don't even know his name, but I think he doesn't do a very good job.
Yeah.
what? Where did the ukulele come from?
Well, he was at Clemson, and then he was at Oregon State, and now he's at Florida State. I don't know how. Like, for a team that has playoff aspirations, how do you lose 2 and then expect those guys to not check out already?
Yeah. Right.
Like, they got their money from NIL. They got paid.
Yeah.
Season's over.
If there's any draft prospects, they're thinking, I still got 10 games left. I don't want to get hurt.
I just don't see how they can pull themselves, like, as a player mentality wise. I don't know how they can pull themselves out of that. Like, they lose 2 bad games and it's done already. It's not like they lose 1 in week 9 to where it's like, hey, we still have a chance.
Yeah.
Now there's no chance that. I don't think there's a single chance that they get in, especially with the ACC not being very good.
Yeah. Well, again, like I said, you can get in probably now with 2 losses, maybe even 3, depending who you are. also, depending on who your losses are, Georgia Tech and Boston College, those are not good losses.
Not at all.
No, this will be the telltale sign of the coach, right? Can he
True.
somehow hold it all together?
Yeah,
I mean, can they
absolutely.
reel off 8 straight? It doesn't look good for him. I'll tell you that much. I'm sure being Florida State,
Yeah.
they're reeling. They're reeling a little bit, and
Love
this will test the coach, see if he can get everyone to stay together. Not
love to
easy.
be a fly on the wall in that team meeting this morning.
Staying in the state of Florida, Miami looked really good. Now, Big Mo, we talked on the podcast. I had heard that the Florida Gators fans were going to do a whiteout, and then Miami was going to get like like a all white uniform to kind of match it, just to kind of rub it in their face a little bit. I didn't see either of those things happen. There was no whiteout, and Miami just wore their regular away uniforms, which obviously are white because that's how it works in football. You wear white on the road, but they were just kind of the regular old, on the road uniform. So that didn't happen. What also didn't happen is the Florida Gators playing well in front of their home crowd. Not good.
Yeah, not good. Not a good showing for the Gators, and Miami looked really good. That quarterback for Miami did a great job. Again, probably hot seat early on here, Florida Gator coach. You don't show up for that game or get your guys to play well in that game, you are looking
Especially
like
at home. Oh,
Yeah, Florida's not a spot where I don't know. I feel like that's such a tough place to get guys from, and you're battling obviously all the SEC, and you're middle of the pack after kind of being a powerhouse for a little while.
yeah.
I just feel like it's so hard to convince those like, oh, I'm getting recruited by Alabama and Auburn and A&M, but hey, here's Florida.
Yeah.
Plus Miami, if they're going to continue to be ranked and half decent, they're going to get those guys over the Gators.
There's a lot
Did
of
you
competition for recruits.
did you see the clip of Miami leaving the field? And as they were leaving, all the Florida recruits were in the end zone, and they were like, "Don't go to Florida, come to the U." And they're come to the U. Why would you want to go here?
Oh, wow.
Like, yeah, so they were kind of trolling their recruits that they had, but hey, you got to do what you got to do at that point.
Oh, that's funny. Well, that's that was good. That was a good college football talk there, fellas. It's great to have it back. Obviously we said Michigan's got Texas on Saturday at high noon and at the big house. Trent, who do the Buckeyes have?
Western Michigan.
Sure.
Okay. First of all, Michigan hasn't had a hard schedule in how many years?
Oh, no, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying anything bad. All the big programs do that.
Played Oregon last year or 2 years ago, Notre Dame the year before. So we got Oregon this year.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Now it's a conference game though. You don't
That's
really
true.
All right, let's move on to what has been the hot topic on the Attack the Rack YouTube channel this summer, and that is Miss Caitlin Clark. Two nice wins over the weekend. Friday night destroyed Angel Reese in the sky. At least in the second half, they were down double digits in the first half of that one, and then a really nice win Sunday night against the Dallas Wings, a game in which they were down 8 or 9 in that one as well. What do you think, guys? Caitlin Clark since the break, first of all, the Fever 6-1 since the break. Caitlin Clark averaging 25 a game. Are we able to throw her maybe into the conversations for MVP at this point?
Yeah, I don't know how you can't throw her in the mix. Her team is 6-1. She does have a great sidekick in Mitchell. She's playing extremely well, which helps.
Overall. Yeah, she doesn't get enough credit.
You're right. I mentioned Caitlin Clark's averaging 25 since the break. Mitchell's averaging 27 since the break.
Yeah, was it Sunday they played or Yeah, Sunday's game, right?
Yeah.
Mitchell had like 36 or something like that, and it's a pretty tough combo when they can make threes. They are tough.
Yeah.
They're very tough. But yeah, I think you can throw her in the MVP conversation. I think Wilson, I think she's got it in the bag,
sure.
especially because she put up 40 and whatever the other night.
Yeah, and she's obviously been doing it from game one.
For sure.
It took Caitlin a few games to kind of get her feet under and really start to play well. But I mean, outside of Asia Wilson, is there really another player in the league that you would say, I would definitely say she's ahead of Caitlin Clark in MVP voting?
The Callejas from Minnesota.
Yeah, but she missed some games with injury, but she's
She
really
did. But that's the Fever's one loss was to them, wasn't it?
yes, since
And she was really good that game, the Collier.
yeah, she was. I think she went for 30.
Yeah. She was like almost unstoppable.
Yeah.
So I put her in the mix. I haven't watched enough of Brianna Stewart lately to see where she's playing. Obviously, New York's still pretty solid, but
Oh yeah.
I think Clark has to be in the top 5 of the MVP voting.
100%.
Yeah.
And then the other girl I would consider is probably the one that was at Notre Dame. I can't pronounce her last name. I think she played her on Sunday. I can't think of her name. It starts with an O. She hit that game winner in the March Madness a few years ago.
From Dallas.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. She has played well against the Fever twice.
And she was the MVP of the All-Star game. That girl.
Yeah. Yep. But they don't. But the other part too is they don't win any games. They've won like 9 games all year. It's like you can't.
No, just plus I think she's only shooting like 32% from the floor.
So it's Angel Reese from
maybe
6 feet.
maybe 35, maybe 35%.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys, speaking of Angel Reese, I don't know if you guys saw the Monday morning live show, but I kind of went off a little bit on Angel Reese.
I don't think you can compare them at all anymore. I don't
either.
He's not even in the picture.
I don't 100% I agree, but people are still
you can't
saying Angel Reese. They're obviously doing it for other reasons other than basketball.
You can't. She's not good. I'm sorry. She's like she can't dribble with her right hand. She can't shoot. She can't make layups. She shoots like 33% from the field and then gets her own rebound. I guess you give her hustle points. She does hustle, but I don't like to compare Caitlin to Angel is not even close.
Agree.
Not even close.
Big Mo, you and I were talking the other day too about like when all of a sudden we've been watching basketball all our lives. Since when is like getting a double-double that big of a deal? Especially if you're a post player, you should be getting 10 rebounds. This is what I was saying on the live show Monday morning. You should be getting 10 rebounds. If you're a starter and even in a post player playing around the rim, you probably should get 10 to 12 points. And that's what she's doing. It's not like she's getting 20 points a game and 16, 17 rebounds. She's getting almost pretty much 10 and 10. Like that's good. That's great. That's that's great for being a starter. But why is that something that's being portrayed as this incredible feat?
Yeah, well, I think one, it obviously in the WNBA probably hasn't been done a ton. I mean, she's already broken the rebounding record, right? Or when did she break the record for like rebounds in a season already, or something like that?
Yeah. But the double one was like garbage time down 30. She's calling for the ball. Like it's just not. And they don't win. They never win. They lost.
Look what happened.
Great.
Look what happened Friday night. They're down by 20. She's still in the game. She needs to get 5 or 6 points at the end of the game. They leave her in the game down 20 just so she can get her 5-6 points to get her double-double.
And they've lost 7 of 8.
And their win percentage is significantly now worse than it was last year without her.
Yep. It's not. It's just it bothers me. It does. It really bothers me.
Here's what I'll say. She doesn't rebound it like Dennis Rodman, but she does score better than Dennis Rodman.
And she shoots 15 times more per game than Dennis.
Probably. She brings a sense of kind of some toughness to them. Now, they've got two big rookies. The Cordova girl actually had a better game against the Aces the other night.
She's better.
Not to take anything away from Reese. Here's what I'll say. In the regards to the rookie of the year, again, I think people are starting to talk about Caitlin Clark being in that conversation, which I think she needs to be. Angel Reese is not in that conversation.
No.
So then the rookie of the year, really, that rookie of the year shouldn't even be a debate anymore. Now that Caitlin is starting to push herself into the MVP talk. If you're going to include her into the MVP talk, then she automatically should probably be winner of the rookie of the year.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And I'll give credit to, I watched the game with my daughter on Sunday and she pointed that out. She's like, this doesn't make a whole lot of sense if she's in this and that. And so give a little credit to my daughter, but if she's sneaking into that MVP race, the rookie of the year is in hers. Give it to her. Said and done. Case closed.
Yeah.
That's the other thing is, again, I don't, this is my first year following the WNBA, but, and again, I've been vocal about, I hate the comparing the NBA to the WNBA. They're two totally separate things, but since I brought it up, I will say this. There is only two girls in the WNBA averaging a double-double. In the NBA, there was 12. No one talks about it. 5 of those guys, I don't even know who they were. I think, Big Mo, you brought it up when we were talking the other day. Who was that you brought up? Sabonis?
Sabonis.
Arvidas' son, right?
Yeah.
So he's like a double-double machine, but no one really talks
Yeah. True.
or makes that big of a deal of it.
Yeah. But, I mean, if you break it down 12 and 2 comparably, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably somewhat close to the number of teams. Maybe not quite.
Oh, yeah, that's true, too. I didn't even think about it. There's only 12 NBA, or there's only 12 WNBA teams. If there was 32, how many is there in the NBA? 30?
32, 30?
There's 32, isn't there?
Well, there'd be obviously a lot more. But
Maybe not quite as double or tripled. But yeah, so that was my case. I'm tired of the rookie of the year talk because again,
well, me too, because that's the other thing the reason I brought up how I don't want to compare, but now I'm comparing. I don't ever remember in all my years, following basketball, in the NBA, there ever being like people really caring that much or debating who's the rookie of the year. I don't think anyone really cares that much.
Yeah.
And again, I think it's the Angel Reese people that are the ones that care more about it. But then you do have people that have logically thinking brains and they're like, no, this is wrong. And so then they get all fired up,
Yeah.
But hey, you know what? Like they say, any coverage is great coverage. So
yeah, I'm sure
kudos to the WNBA. They're getting us to talk about them.
No, it's helping them out for sure.
I just don't think a rookie of the year can shoot 38% from the field and only shoot from inside 6 feet.
Right.
You can't do it.
Agree.
And Caitlin Clark might have a better percentage from 3 than Angel does from the block.
I think you might be right. I think Caitlin's in 3-point around 30, 33, 35, something like that.
Let's find out.
While you do that, let me just say a couple other things about the Fever. They did bump up to the 6th spot in the playoffs, 17-16 overall now. So they're above 500 after starting out the season at that 1-8. They are 16-8 since. We mentioned 6-1 since the break. And then the other nice thing, they've beat every team ahead of them in the playoffs except the Aces, and they got them twice on the schedule for the remainder of the season.
Caitlin shoots 34% from 3, so 4% less
than someone shooting from the block.
We'll leave it at that.
Someone's doing 3-point workouts and someone's doing the mic and drill, and the field goal percentage is very similar.
But if you half-ass the micing, those are the results you get.
Absolutely. All right, guys, let's wrap it up here this week. This is our last of our NFL division predictions. So this is the last one. We've done every division in the NFL. We're wrapping it up here today with the AFC East, which features the Miami Dolphins, the New York Jets, the New England Patriots, and
Buffalo.
Buffalo Bills. Trent, what do you got?
Ooh. Let's go with the Jets
Okay.
to win it. I think if Rodgers stays healthy, I think they're going to win it. I still think he's just very good and dominant. And then give me Miami to finish second.
Yep.
I think they're still pretty solid offensively. I don't know a whole lot about their defense, but offensively they got some weapons. Obviously, Tua needs to stay healthy. And Tyreek, they need their main pieces. Both teams need their main pieces to stay healthy to finish that way. And then I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills. I like Josh Allen a lot. I just wish that they could get him some help. I know Diggs was there, but he's just kind of that personality that is probably kind of hard to get along with all the time.
Yeah.
Especially if he doesn't get like 3 catches by the second quarter, he's throwing a hissy fit, kind of that. It just kind of feels that way.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go with the Bills third and then New England below last. I just don't think they won't be very good for a while, I think.
All right. Well, Big Mo, I don't want to steal your thunder the past time.
You started it. You might as well keep going, Kurt. You're up next.
Oh, you want me to go next? Well,
and in first place, the Patriots. Yeah.
actually, I have it the exact same way you did, Trent. I think Jets are going to win the division. Aaron Rodgers is going to come back better than ever. They've got great weapons on the offensive side of the ball. My thought was like, next, do you go Buffalo? Do you go Miami? And it's like, yeah, Josh Allen's a top 10, top 8, maybe top 5 quarterback in the league, but you got to have pieces around you to be successful, and he really doesn't. And so that's why I bumped them down and went with Miami second, and then Josh Allen and the Bills third, and then New England Patriots fourth, dead last.
You know who I hope is good for Buffalo, though, is Keon Coleman. He was at Michigan State for the year, and then he went to Florida State. I love his personality. He's goofy. I hope he's good.
He's huge.
He'd be good for Hard Knocks. So
yeah, he would.
Hopefully the Hard Knocks producers are watching.
Oh. All right. Well, I'm not going to keep the same as you guys, so I'm going to switch mine up even. I'm going Bills.
Ooh, okay.
And I don't even like Josh Allen.
Wow.
Because I don't think he has a ton around him, but we're going to dig deep and say Josh Allen elevates his game, which brings everybody along with him. I love their defense. So we're going Bills first.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Jets second. I don't think Rodgers stays healthy. I think that's going to be tough on him. So I don't think they win that because he gets injured and maybe can't play every game.
Okay.
If he plays the whole year and stays healthy, then obviously they probably do win the league, and he might even be an MVP candidate. I don't think he can stay healthy.
Okay.
And then the Dolphins and Patriots. Patriots are gosh awful.
Yeah.
That'll be a big. It's been a big overhaul. It's going to continue to be a big overhaul. So
they are in a long-term rebuild.
Yeah.
Long-term.
All right, guys. Anything we missed? Anything else?
I don't think so.
All right, we got last episode of Hard Knocks tonight. We will producer Dal wanted me to remind us we got to watch that tonight, even though it's like to this point, first of all, the Bears Hard Knocks not great. And then it always kind of trickles off after those first 2 or 3 episodes. So last episode of Hard Knocks tonight. We will talk about it tomorrow on the program.
Hopefully for you guys, they show some cuts, because I don't know that'll draw you two in.
Yeah.
Getting pleasure out of other people's pain.
Oh, that's not true. Not true, Bigman. All right, we'll see you tomorrow.
See ya.